So it's a change of pace for Team D. It's not as farm heavy on that mid lane, and that should lead to more activity here at GXR. Still have to see what they opt for. They might go for their mid pickup if they want to give Muzu the offlane DK, which it feels like they will, as we tend to see something more flashy for Alacrity on the mid as well. So we'll have to see what they do choose to show first, whether or not they want to lock in Your Dreams hero or Alacrity's hero for the mid.
See, GXR? Well, we've been seeing a lot of last pick heroes for Mizu, and there you go. There's an Alacrity hero now coming out, so they are going to kind of keep the carry pick hidden here for IYD. Team D, I mean, they've got a pos 4 pick to make, so there's no need to show off their own position 1. Could just wait it out a little bit. Suppose if you really want something like the Luna yourself on Team D, you may as well take it before it does get banned out, though. Excuse me. Let's see what they go for. I imagine the pos 4 should be coming up.
Yeah, I think maybe something with good combinations with a Mars. A Lion is still an option. Lion Mars is pretty darn nice to play with. Earth Spike into Spear. Pretty potent. Fingers for burst. Gives you good control for the Void Spirit as well, especially once you get the blink.
Ooh.
They go with a Peel instead, so they just lock in their pause 1, keep their pause 4 open for the last pick. Interesting choice. The PL can run down the DK, especially once you have Diffusal up. It can also cause issues for the Void Spirit once he's out of mana. You're stuck in a very awkward spot for that, for the Void Spirit, and perhaps go against the core they expect GXR to take. So now they can ban out the cores that the PL doesn't want to play against. I don't think there's many left. Like, the Jug is the one, so just not going to have to worry about the spin out from the arena early on. But even then, I feel like as the game scales late, PL is a better core over the Jug, simply because you can kind of dodge the Omni until he gets like an Abyssal and bashes you first, and they get the control in the PL. Team D's, the PL is really nice because the wave clear of GXR isn't particularly amazing. Like, Enchantress doesn't deal with it well. Shadow Demon, to a certain extent, can spam the Shadow Poison.
Yeah.
Void Spirit can also kind of play with the Resonant Pulse. Dragon Knight will need the Ag Shard to really clear out illusions or stop the push for the fire drop on lane. That can be one way, but it's not the scariest things for PL. I think this should still be really playable for Drew. Mind you, it's been a while since you've seen Drew PL. I think I'm much more used to seeing him on Lifestealer, Bloodseeker, course like that in the safe lane. So the PL is a bit of a different direction, and you can see they do ban out the Luna combination with that Shadow Demon you mentioned. So no option for that as well to flash farm and to play with illusions here.
You could just go down the Medusa route though, right? Like I know you can drain so much mana with Diffusal Blade, but it still does tend to deal okay with the PL, if you're GXR, that is. I'm trying to find another carry that can deal with this Phantom Lance in this game. It feels like so many of them have already been removed. It's Team D, they've got a pause 4 to pick up. They've left Destrous' hero till the last seconds. Very curious to see what they've got up their sleeves for Destrous this game. He won't have that Mirana we've been seeing him play a lot. He can go back to the Rubik, but there's no value on a Rubik pick right now in this draft against this draft.
I'd say the Rubik's actually okay. You can steal Shadow Demon spells. The Demonic Purge is relatively easy to take. DK Dragon Tail, it's also a nice spell to steal. Dragon Farm, not so much, even though it's kind of adorable to see a little dragon on the map, but it doesn't really do too much for you. So I would have loved the Lion, but GXR banned that out, and that's because Team D didn't pick it up in that phase. They go with a Phoenix, so they've got the Egg Arena combo here. Team fight shaping up for Team D. They've got good healing to sustain. You don't really have the best egg hitters as well from GXR. Like DK, kind of. Enchantress, kind of, but not amazing. And GXR do go Lesh to deal with a Phantom Lancer. So that is one way. Burn it down with magic damage. It's an awkward one, though. I feel like as the game goes on, like mid-game is really good for Leshrac and its PL. Once the PL tanks up a bit, once the PL gets items, Leshrac, it feels like it can be handled by the PL, right? Like you run up, you Diffusal, melt the mana, suddenly Leshrac does nothing in the middle. So it's down to how much you can get here for In Your Dream early on. This does give them good pace. GXR's push is a lot better than Team D's. Like they've got DK Lesh. They can just run down fast. Alacrity's not going to need too much farm on Void Spirit. He will still need to have a even lane at the least up against the Ember. We have seen Void Spirits with slower Yule's timings really kind of fall flat in the first 15 minutes. Do you still want that item up faster? I think that's the one edge Team D has lane-wise. Ember Spirit's timings are faster to meet. Orb of Corrosion, Phase Boots are easier to farm than the Yules because it's broken down into smaller items. So Chris should be able to hit that spike faster, and he needs to make that space happen for the team, as Drew's going to need a little bit more time to cook up compared to what GXR has.
Fair enough, John, but I'm going to ask you a hard question. Last game of the night, Team D, GXR, one of these teams are going straight through the main event after this game. Who got the better draft going into this game 3, John?
It's a tough one to call draft-wise. I think it's rather even. I feel like the momentum GXR has is a lot easier to pull off, though. Like, their team fight might not be as strong as Arena Egg, but their push potential is a lot stronger. It's pretty scary. Shadow Demon to clone DK Dragons to push a lane. Leshrac. You can actually play with Leshrac behind the tower, pop Edict, and protect him with the Disruption as well. The Edict will still go. So you can just kind of play like that, melt these early objectives, shut down the map, make it awkward for the PL to find his item timings. And if you do that, you're basically playing 4 versus 5 for a prolonged period. Drew's going to have to work around his map, try to get as much as he can as possible, as I don't think GXR is going to relent here. They're just going to keep playing this fast pace and just shut down the map early on.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was leaning as well. It's going to be an exciting matchup, though. I mean, definitely a much more fast-paced kind of lineup between both teams, and let's see how it does pan out. Good luck, have funs are out for both sides, and we should quickly bring up some loot bet odds to see what the bettors are thinking right now. Very similar. GXR still the favorites, not too far off though. Team D $2.45 to the $1.49 of GXR, so pretty not even, but pretty close enough.
Yeah, I'd say it kind of reflects how the series has gone. I would say I'd peg it closer, but it's close enough. I mean, both sides have won convincingly in each game. They have won out in the series, so it's really even. And it just goes to show you Woody's names on hand. Like GXR, they've been around for a while. All the players have been playing for a long time, but so has Team D to an extent. KYXY, Destris, Drew, Ponlo, we've seen them time and time again. It's only really Krish who's a bit of a newer factor, quote unquote, but we've also seen him from ESL India 3 years back. So that experience is definitely piling up, and just goes to show you how tight Southeast Asia is.
That it does. It's kind of insane as well. Like, a lot of these players, such skilled players, but that some of them aren't even in the lower division of SCA in the DPC. It's just insane to think about. Like, a lot of these viewers don't even know who Krish is. Like, it's just crazy. So,
yeah.
Just goes, but it is the region, right? It's so competitive. It's too competitive in some ways. Just, you can't all make it. That's the problem, right? Like, you've got to be the best of the best.
Oh yeah, you definitely have to be. Now, to be fair to Team D, their old iteration did go pretty far on those DPC qualifiers until, certain issues with the rules came up for Team D, which was unfortunate. But they did kind of show from early on that they had that potential with most of these players. Still, going into it, even bounty rune trade, no shenanigans this time to find that first blood. We're going to see the lanes break out. Down bot, we've got Paulson on that Ench. He is going to be laning up with Mizu. So you're not going to have the kill potential coming through, or at least the same way that a Mirana would bring out. But you have some combinations here. If the large camp is left unblocked, you can look for a Centaur creep, or really any creep to combine and just get the Dragon's Tail stunts off, run down the PL early on. The PL in lane, it's a lot harder to dodge all that aggression. Levels in Doppel are fairly long early on. Level 25 seconds at level 20 at level 1, so it's not like you're going to have that saving grace every time. And the lane of PL and AA for Ponlo and Drew, it's a lot more passive. There's not much aggression you can get done here.
No, certainly not. It is a much more passive lane here, but GXR can get very aggressive onto Drew, and you see Paulson on that pos 4 inch already doing that, being very, very aggressive with that impetus, constantly getting it out on Drew. He's going to need a salve pretty much ASAP. Unfortunately, Ponlo doesn't have one. He's only got tangos right now, which means the Paulson, he can just keep up this great work. We'll have to keep a close eye on this bot lane, but we will have a look at the mid lane for now, as Krish is going to be there against Alacrity. The Void Spirit versus Ember matchup, it can go either way. It's really hard to tell who should have the advantage. Right now, it is going to be fairly even between the two.
Yeah, I'd say it should be slightly better for Alacrity. He can play a lot more aggressive with the skill build you tend to go on the Void Spirit. The Resonant Pulse can also block some of the harassment that Krish will want to pump out with the Sleight Fist, and you can burn through the Flame Guard. Whereas for Krish, he can't really burn through the Resonant Pulse with just his Flame Guard. So the back and forth protection's a little bit better for Alacrity, at the least. Of course, that does mean he's not blocking the Flame Guard damage, but it should be even. It's down to level 6 timings for this lane. Whoever gets 6 first is gonna have that earlier opportunity to get that kill.
Jeez, I have to keep looking back down bot. Just look at the devastation here from GXR. And it's not even bot lane, it's top lane where the kill happens. Destros, he ends up going down to the Phoenix. Jokam the one to pick it up. Back down to the bot lane, Drew. He's been left with no regen. You've got a salve up now on Ponlo. Unfortunately for them though, Paulson's got the Harpy Stormcrafter, and now he's blocked in Ponlo. Yikes. He will get the enchant off. There's your Impetus shot. Fairy Fire was eaten in Ponlo. He's going to be able to survive. Let's see how long this HP lasts on Drew. It's been a very rough time.
Yeah, it's a timely D-ward from Paulson as well to clear out the large camp, so he's going to have something to play with. Honestly, at this point, I feel like Ponlo might be better off dead, so he could TP in with that fresh set regen. He's going to have to wait for his courier to run up. Not a very quick courier, and their lane's constantly shoved out. The pulls aren't quite lining up. Paulson now has a large creep to play with. He's got the Wild Wing Ripper. So you got the Tornado to line up with a stun, with the slows, and just a way to manage that lane. It's not going to feel good anytime soon for the side of Team D. None of the lanes are just feeling good at all.
Certainly not. Team D already having a very rough time, but it is sort of to be expected with the draft matchup, right? Like, you talked about the advantage that GXR will have from the early to mid game, and they are really trying to apply that pressure immediately. There is no time to waste for GXR, especially with this kind of draft. It's Destros. He goes for the Icarus dive. Destros. Alright, maybe a bit of a misclick there from Destros, but he's going to dive right into his death. And yeah, in your dream, he'll give him a tip like, what the hell were you thinking?
Yeah, that was a bit strange. Misclick, misplay. You can't really do that against this dual control lane from GXR. I mean, Disruption into Split Earth, it's a basic combination. And when you land it, the damage output of Leshrac early on is really high. And in your dream, he can opt for the Diabolic Edict build. So he's got the stuns up, he's got the Edict up. You can look for the tower push down the line as well, because he doesn't need the Lightning Storm this lane. It's just not necessary against the Mars, against the Phoenix. You just really don't need it.
Jokam gonna be chased down. Nice little body block there from Destros. He does get the disruption off onto the Mars. Is now In Your Dream's gonna show up just to make sure that he remains protected, and Jokam, he is going to be able to remove himself from the scenario. However, bottom lane, Ponlo, he may not be so lucky. He does get chased down and eventually does get taken out by Paulson with the Hadouken creep. Drew, at least you've got the PL alive, but Drew's on 17 CS. It's been a very tough time for Drew. He's not having fun.
No, definitely not. I mean, he's kind of matching the form of In Your Dream, just a few creeps behind, but not really what you want to see here. I mean, considering that In Your Dream already has a couple of kill assists on hand, so it's kind of compensated by that. And issue for PL, his flash farm is not that quick compared to, say, a Leshrac who will just clear camps if need be for recovery. PL can kind of juggle around Illusion, sure, play with a Phantom Rush, but still not an amazing team you want to be forced into here.
Mizu, he's going to be fine. He's a dragon. He's going to be just fine. There's no chance of really killing this DK in this laning phase. He's going to survive throughout the whole thing. Let's have a look back at the mid lane. I guess the one positive right now for Team D... Oh, I jinxed it. All right.
Oh, Mike. You had to say positive thing there.
Yeah, I know. All right. Top lane as well. KYXY, he's going to be chased down in your dream. He's moving more forward. He's got the stun up on Destrus. He'll find another kill. Jokan will take that one, but it's a 0-6 already. 3k net worth lead for GXR. And I may as well finish my sentence, John. He was having a good time in the mid lane. They were even until I opened my big mouth. And now Alacrity's level 7, a full level ahead of Krish.
Yep, it's a rough spot for Team D. None of the lanes going well. I mean, you look at Jokam. He's already got the full arcane boots on the pause 5 at 6 minutes 40. Like that. That's such a good game. You know you're having a good time when a pause 5 gets this done. They can't even get stacks up. They were sort of blocked out here by their own sentry. Destrus actually blocked his own large cap to look for the D ward. So he's only going to build the Ancients up. And I don't know, GXR at this point, once they get a few more levels up, they can look for the push. They could collapse mid with it in your dream. Get the Diabolic Edict running. Mizu already has the Dragon form. Drew's still always running low. I don't know where the PL can recover here. There's just no stacks, nothing built up for Drew to clear out down the line.
Oh, and now Polison's got the Dream Creep. That Ghost is so annoying to play against, especially when you've got level 2 enchant. Drew's going to lose his Courier. That was his Gloves of Haste on there. He's actually going to Phantom Rush over to Polison. But he'll be okay. They can't lock him down. They'll just get a bit more chip damage off. But this bottom tier 1 tower with this 5-minute siege creep is just going at that tier 1 as KYXY drops at the top lane again. Krish is rotated down bot, but he's going to be able to get nothing. They are just completely being outpaced on the side of Team D. They just can't keep up right now. It's just too fast of a game from GXR.
Oh, Krish.
Alright, he's got the big one. But he's got no follow-up. You need some help, and with a Phoenix behind him or spells on cooldown, Destrus can't do anything.
Yeah, he was out of mana after that TP, popping the flame card. Unfortunate for Krish. Would have been a nice kill to pick up if he isolated out that Lush, but the damage has been done. They're top tier 1 down to 140 HP. Next creep wave shove out should clear that out. They're clumping bot as well.
Yeah, Pon low. He chase down Mizu, he'll get the stun off. The cold feet should freeze, but Polison can just take the kill himself, no problem. Even found Polino's Courier, just making sure there's no remnants of the man left. As they do go in, Alacrity now rotating on to Drew, but the Aether Remnant. Gonna make it in time, and I don't think it would have been on target anyway. They're gonna look to trade the top and bottom tier 1 towers now. If I say trade in your dream, he has a different idea right now as KYXY is taking a lot of damage just from that Diabolic Edict. And that'll be the 3rd kill of the game now for In Your Dream as mid lane. They were trying to get Krish, but he does manage to remnant out of there.
And they've lost 2 towers within less than 10 seconds of each other. Or at least just that 1 tower, but the top is going to be set to fall if In Your Dream does look to commit. Team D needs to get something done here. They don't really have their spells lined up. I think you really need the egg on Destrus to play with that arena on KYXY to start looking for those pickoffs. And if KYXY wants to commit now, maybe just go for an arena play, isolate out, say, In Your Dream or one of the 2 supports on GXR, kill them off, and just go back to farming. Just try to do that every time arena's up. That could be the way to bounce back, but it's sub 10 minutes. It's a 7k lead for GXR. That's just abysmal.
That's a problem. Disruption just freely there onto Krish. Aether Remnant out, they've got the follow-up. Now, KY, he tried to help. It's going to cost him his own life.
Oh boy.
Krish just walked...
tower.
Yeah, Jokam literally just walked up to the Ember.
Oh, they clear out the stacks as well in the small camp. Alacrity gets so much farm. Mid lane, it still stands. In Your Dream actually goes home. He doesn't test his luck, but Mizu sticks around for the push. And Paulson's here with the net creep, so you have to be cautious on Destrus. And when you dive out from a level 1 impetus, it's still a lot of damage.
In Your Dream, he's caught out Drew. Oh, Drew, he's got nowhere to farm now. They're just taking the whole map over. This is a really tough game now. They are losing all their objectives. All tier 1s are gone. 10 minutes in, they're all gone. This is what you kind of expect from this draft from GXR, but you don't expect it to be this easy.
No, definitely not this fast, not without much of a fight from Team D. They don't have the tools to fight. It's just down to that. Like, they don't have egg. Arena is nice, but there's no follow-up in the arena. They need to be aggressive with it, not defensive. And if they get caught out on the Ember, even just for a little bit, they're done for it. This control from GXR with the disruption set up into the Spirit, into the Split Earth, it's just too much control that Krish can't really play around. He hasn't even finished up the Orb of Corrosion. It's a slower pace for our Ember here compared to that game 1. And they're going to need to catch up somehow. They're lagging a severe amount behind. 10k at 11 minutes. This is probably the biggest gap we've seen. We've seen some games be at 8, 7k at this time. Nothing at 10k, I don't think.
It's been a long time, John. I think we've seen it, but it's been a very long time. So,
man,
it's just a matter of what GXR does now. Like, where do you want to go? What do you want to do with this net worth? Do they know how big of a lead they have? They've got to secure some farm right now on their cores, at least for Team D. I just need to have a quick cheeky look at Dota Plus, and we're already at 82%.
At 12 minutes in, like that's ridiculous of Dota Plus to say, but I can't say I disagree. That's just how far ahead GXR are. They're just so efficient. They have 7k gold, and In Your Dream is clearing out the Ancients with the help of Pulse, and I love that interaction. You know, just stand in front, let the Untouchable do its work, let your cores farm. What a good time for In Your Dream to clear it out safely. Mizu gets the smaller camp. They've got the blink up on the DK. Dragon Form's ready. They just need to look for a tower to collapse on, and they're going to defend top. They don't want to give this tier 1 away.
They don't need to. In Your Dream is literally doubling the net worth of Drew right now. I know it's a Leshrac, but this is literally 4k versus almost 8k now. Bottom, Destrus. He's been caught. Alacrity with the Yule Scepter will get the 8th Remnant, and that'll be it. Oh, maybe not. They get the egg off, but he has an Illusion Rune. He'll purge off the chains and just walk away. No problem. Even the power runes are favoring GXR this game.
Yeah. If you're winning, Ice Frog smiles upon you. There's a smoke here from GXR. They can wrap back in. They know there's no egg.
KYXY, he's probably not expecting the early blink out from Mizu, but that's exactly what's up. There's follow-up stun as well. He'll get the arena. Maybe they can find their first kill of the game, but not quite. They're going to try and run. KYXY is still not really safe either. He is completely blocked off in the little gap there, and he's gone. 0 to 13. Tips out to Alacrity, KYXY. I mean, these guys were former teammates. What are you going to do? If one of them's winning, you may as well be happy.
Yeah, what can you do? It's just one of those situations. At the least, GXR can't fully commit for the mid-tier 2. Creep Wave is gone, so they can't quite melt the objectives. That's the only silver lining for Team D. Drew?
Yeah, he's on division. Alacrity yules himself up, but it doesn't matter because he got the right side. Or does he? He was trying to juke them out. Drew will not get away with it. He's gone again, but they do chain up Alacrity. Maybe they can punish, but In Your Dreams here. Ice Blast does connect. Maybe they can kill this Leshrac, and it looks like they can. He's still alive, though. Krish is trying. He finally gets him down. That'll be the first kill of the game, but Mizu looks to punish. No stun there, but they have the disruption. They'll get Krish on the Ember. They'll get the stun out as well, and they should have the damage. 1 to 16, make it 17. In Your Dream, you get a big kill. I mean, there's one positive in all this. You've gotten a big kill. But it was a 4-for-1 trade. It's still not great.
Still not great, but that's some much needed gold going the way of Krish. So he gets the Javelin up. There's more damage coming through from the Ember, which is nice. That could help. It's not enough to really say you're in a good spot here. It's 17 to 1, 12k lead for GXR. The towers still aren't being taken, so maybe that's something GXR needs to rush. I don't feel like it's really a big issue. They get the Yules again.
Hit the Remnant to connect. But a lot of TPs in mid to make sure KYXY remains protected. Ollison. Could be a secondary kill. Here's the Ice Blast. It's gonna land. They should be able to get the damage. Yeah, they do. The spear They're in time. Alacrity. He's going into a lot of heroes. It's a very confident play, but he's going to make it out, it looks like. Remnant forward, Krish. He has the chains up, but he needs the slide to be up. He will get it. Spear, Arena is all there, but no, the Yule Scepter. They drop the egg. They really want the kill. He dissimulates out, though. He's going to be fine. Oh, and they would be angry, Alacrity, as another stun is there from Mizu. KYXY. It's a hard gank to get away from. He's gone. In fact, they even found Krish. He has no remnants left. That was the last one, and they know it. GXR, they'll chase him down now. Can they find him? Mizu, he'll have another blink very soon, and there you go. He gets the stun off into the Ember. It'll be another. The 3-2-2 dream is now alive, John, as the Phoenix is going to be caught out. Destrus is gone as well. We might be able to get a backward 3-2-2. Drew? Oh, they get the Yule Scepter off Alacrity. He finds him. They want it. Ice Blast, Joe Camp. He's not going to ruin it for the team. Ponlo, he won't be able to get it.
2-2-2. Oh, we're so close. Are we going to get the reverse? 2-2-3?
Very rare.
3-2-2 coming out here. Which one will it be? We're going to have to see who gets that next kill on the edge. History being made, Mike, in this game. Who would have thought?
Absolutely. We've got a complete reversal of the 3-2-2s here. It could be either way. Which team is going to be able to achieve it? This is probably better than the prize pool, John. You just the 3-2-2s. That's all you need.
Exactly it. It's the big one. It's what you play for, Ro.
Oh, Krish. He's going to get caught out. No. Where'd the stun go?
I think it went on a creep. Or he managed to dodge because it's a projectile. Like, immediately going for the Sleight of Fist into the Remnant. Like, that's a possibility. That's why sometimes you see the dragon form not popped, because you want that instant stun over the slight time to travel on the dragon tail on the dragon form. So, something Mizu might have to consider when initiating.
Oh, Paulison. He's going to let it go the other way, it looks like. The Ice Blast is there, and one more hit.
Oh, no.
Oh, he might still die. KYXY, he's going to drop. Paulison is going to survive. He will be alive, and there's a 3-2-2. We've got the backwards dream. They've done it. It could have gone either way there, John, but it looks like GXR are the ones that claimed the 3-2-2. Very well done.
Yeah, they got the 2-2-3 going. Unfortunately, we only get it for a second, but GXR has
it was
done
a great
it.
second.
It's a glorious second until Ponlo had to ruin it. Ponlo. Bad Ponlo. Still, it's not a good situation for Team D. I mean, we're having fun watching, but this is a rough time to watch, although good chains.
They're definitely good chains out. In Your Dream, going to rush forward. Krish, he needs to remnant out of there. He's trying his best. It looks like he is not able to get out in time. They drop the egg. They are out of mana. Krish is gone. The egg is down. It means nothing. The only person to die there was Joe Cam. Drew? He'll just have to TP out.
Those disruption illusions of the PL hurt the PL a lot more than I expected it to. Like, it actually chipped away a good amount of his HP. And GXR, with those wins, they could just line up, well, not really line up for a push as they're not clumped together, but they have so many items flying in. Ag's up on Alacrity. Ag Yule, it's Brown Boots at 19 minutes and a half. Very quick farm flying out here for everyone on GXR. In Your Dream already has the travel. It's the Bloodstone up at 19 and a half minutes. And Mizu has the BKB Blink with Power Treads.
No problem.
At 19 and a half minutes. This is insane. 19k at 19 minutes. That's a K per minute. We're back at that rate again.
Yes, we are. It's a bit problematic here for Team D, but you know, they've got that kind of draft. If they can hold out, they might be able to get there in the late game. Drew's not actually that underfarmed. Considering the circumstances, he is sitting at 7k right now, only 4k behind In Your Dream. However, Mizu, he's just going to casually start pushing out the bot tier 3 by himself. He will just blink out. And now Krish, he does have his Maelstrom up. I mean, it's taken a long time, but he's finally there. So maybe, if you can defend high ground long enough, you might be able to force a comeback.
It's a possibility.
It's a very hard one, but it's there.
Yeah, I'd say it's harder than the last games, although Drew, oh god.
Oh, Drew just gets... I couldn't even get there in time. Bot lane, Mizu has been caught out. He's got the BKB, but he's not... Oh, he does pop it in time now, and he'll just TP away. See ya. Jocam? He's got his team around him. He could actually go for this fight, but he's got to be careful as KYXY is in now. They do get a nice spear, and they're here committed. They just want any kill they can get. They'll even use the egg for it. So they do get it, but now Krish, he has been caught out. Can they lock him down enough? The split earth does land. They've got him. They'll get the ember, and they will take him down. Arena is there, but it might just be too late. They do land the spear, but what does it matter?
Oh man, it's rough for GXR. Well, not for GXR, for Team D. I mean, they find a couple of kills. I say a couple. They find really just a Shadow Demon for their trouble. They have to drop a lot of spells, and now they can start clearing out that last outer tower. Fortify Force at the tier 2. I think you have to save that for high ground, so they're not going to have that tool for the high ground defense once that comes out. Even Jocam has travels up along with an Aether Lens on the Shadow Demon. It's just so farmed. Jeez.
Absolutely.
And a bounty as well on the shovel. Like, you just get everything.
I love it. Just boosted travel on the Shadow Demon. Like, what is this? KYXY? Speed back. It doesn't land on anything. However, that is a lot of damage, and he's gone. Alright, that's a fair bit of gold to Krish. A lot of XP the way of Team D. Alacrity, meanwhile, kills off Drew. So I guess you kind of even it out anyway.
Yeah, you don't mind. Like, you still slow down the EP. All the tips are coming out for IYT. Just being a bit too far forward. Reminds me of some old days. You know, way back in the day when we were watching In Your Dream. That has happened before. And I'm getting some flashbacks. So not too bad yet.
Like
not too bad.
Why are you going to do In Your Dream like that?
Hey, he's a chill guy, you know. I just remember. I just have some very shocking memories of some very deep dives before. That wasn't his fault though. Like he was probably not expecting the entire team of Team D to hang around at top. Still, they maintain a 23k lead, 5-30 now on GXRS, and Team D. They're still holding on to the high ground, and that's a big positive. The Roshan is still available for both sides. GXR might want to consider taking Rosh first before hammering in the high ground and kind of just giving themselves a safety net. There is a smoke out from Team D. Krish is feeling pretty strong with all the bounce back gold he's gotten. Let's see if they can maybe get a pick off here.
Let's see. See what they can find. Oh, In Your Dream again. Arena down. But they missed the spear. He popped the Bloodstone active, but they've got the Ice Blast. They'll get him again. Alright. Here we go. Alacrity. He's caught out. Krish on the Ember with that Aghanim Scepter. It's so hard to fight back, and KYXY probably down as well. I mean, you get the Leshrac, but I don't know. Is it good enough?
Nope. Not quite when you sacrifice Krish right after. So the gold gained it's just gone. And for GXR, they can still line up for high ground. I mean, it's not going to be as quick without the Lesh, but they're just keeping every lane shoved in. They've got so much power here on Alacrity to just jump up, and they can just stall out until the respawn's on the Lesh. So you can't even use this time on Team D to resecure your jungle without that Leshrac core. You don't have your Ember, you don't have your Mars. They can't do anything in this period, except just try to slowly build up on Drew. The SNY is almost done, just lacking that Sanj recipe for Drew. But they're lining up for Roshan. Paulson's had enough of his cores dying. He's just standing in the pit, he's waiting.
It's every Enchantress does, just waiting. Gotta love that untouchable.
Quack. It's always silly to watch Roshan try. He's trying.
He is trying. He'll get there eventually.
It kind of looks like he's petting Enchantress, right? It's not. It's like there's no force. Like he's like, hello.
Oh, Ice Blast in. Mizu, he's gonna pop the Ancient Black Dragon form onto KYXY, and they get the Mars down.
Guys, Roshan, go back, finish it. There you go.
Yeah, they're going.
Yeah, it almost looked like they were going to chase all across the map. Good retreat from Team D, but with no arena, they're not going to be able to snipe this one off. So it's still going to be the Roshan going the way of GXR. That is still Roshan number 1. They haven't focused on it, but You are seeing Alacrity trying to hunt around, does miss out on Ponlo. Still, in your dreams, going to have that safety net, so if he does get caught off, he does have the BKB, he does have the Aegis, he is a bit more protected, so you shouldn't expect that kill to be as easy as it once was.
I mean, Drew's still catching up somewhat. Got a long way to go. Still at 20. I'm trying to find something positive here for Team D. What's Dota Plus say? Oh, shouldn't have done that.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought, you know, there'd be a % chance I could go with that, but no, Dota Plus has given up. Well, that's upsetting.
I'll give you the 1% here, Mike. I'll give you it. High ground defense, Arena Egg. And Ice Blast on top, and somehow Drew just playing out of his mind. That's it. That's the only thing I can think of. It can happen. Destrus has to be outside with the egg, and the arena has to catch everyone inside from KYXY, and it has to be perfect, but Pawn low.
Yep. He's gone down. They just continue to taunt them. And, you got the Aegis. Do you want to go high ground? Like, do you want to try and force it? Are they waiting for a particular moment? I suppose now you go for the tier 3 items. You don't go up high ground without those. But if you're GXR, I mean, you've got to be thinking at this point, I've got to go high ground some point. You know, like, we're so far ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you do want to end the game at some point, because if you do stall out, you know, it's not likely, but Drew could be big. He's going for the Octarine for the infinite defense as well. It's still a ways off. Mind you, it's a slow going for that. He does have the Ag Shard up, at least, so that will start to bounce around on the Lances, but you really do want the Octarine running for that full defense to come out. Pale Horse build, as we like to call it after watching the NA DPC. We'll see if he will finish that up, and that could complicate the high ground process. It's just not up fast enough.
They're going to start pushing in 2 lanes at once. No, never mind, Mizu. He's going to join his team. Of course, there you've got that reoccurring Split Earth now. A perfectly balanced ability. It gets bigger, by the way, as time goes on, which is always nice to see. There you go. How about 2 of them? Area denial at its finest. And Alacrity apparently just blew up Ponlo. I didn't even see it. That's how fast it happened.
Yeah. So squishy and all.
Here we go. Dragon Tail's there. KYXY, he's been caught. He is taking too much damage and he's gone. Chris, he's going to pop his BKB and try. He'll train up Paulison. The egg has been committed as well, but that is not going to last anywhere near as long. On to Ponlo as well. They found the AA. They found another in the form of the PL. They are just melting. Chris gets another tip. And GG's a call. That's enough. And if there's one lesson to be learned here, John, in SCA, you never tip unless you're guaranteed the win. Because they're always going to get you back. Every time.
Exactly it. You have to watch your tip use. That's a pro tip coming out if you play in Southeast Asia. Watch your tips. It could work against you. Instead of tilting them, it could motivate them. And you can see GXR ending 7-40. Very motivated in this game number 3. They are the first qualified team to the group stage of the LootBat Pro Series 7. Big congratulations to them. They play a perfect game on Alacrity, 10-0-19, 29 of the 40 kills he was around. Mizu, 8-0-9, not as active, but still unkilled this entire time. And unfortunately for Team D, they're going to have to look for their shot into the group stage elsewhere. They're going to have to drop to the lower bracket, play against OB Neon, and that is not an easy opponent to go up against, especially after what we saw from them today. They look pretty scary. In fact, their performance looked like what GXR did here in game number 3. So we'll see Team D. They've got to shake it off, and they've got to, you know, kind of go back in with a fresh slate when that game does come around. But big congratulations to GXR. This lineup has just constantly improved. From the DPC, then when they hammered in your dream in his safe lane, they have just looked really great. And I think a lot of people are starting to realize that with this iteration of GXR, they are a team to watch out for.
Oh, absolutely. They're a very strong team. It's very exciting to watch them, and it was a good series overall. You know, it went to 3 games. Obviously, the last game pretty one-sided as the GXR just decided no more fun and games. We're just gonna win this one out.
I saw the odds just now on the stream as well. 1 to
Oh,
14 the last time we showed him.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you bet money, you get your money back. Apparently, if you bet on GXR, which is nice. No bonuses though. I mean, it's just such a guaranteed win. Dota Plus agreed at 100%. What can you do? Still with that, it is MLP johnxfire. It's actually an early night tonight, so we're gonna have some early dinner tonight, which is very nice to see. Apart from that, though, we will be back tomorrow for our final day of the qualifiers. Is it the final day tomorrow, John? No, it might not be. I might be wrong.
I don't think so, because we're doing the same thing for the next group, and then I think the last day is the lower bracket.
Right. Okay.
2 more days.
Well, we'll be back for the second last day of the closed qualifiers for the Lootbet Pro Series 7. It is MLP johnxfire, and it's been an absolute pleasure. We'll see you all again, same time tomorrow night.